Hello everyone. This is my new bike. The one after I got my S1000RR stolen. It is a as it says on the bike, Triumph Street Triple RS Moto 2 edition. Kind of a downgrade from my last bike, I'm not gonna lie, because this is a inline triple. Has a beautiful engine, by the way. Typical naked bike look, you know what I'm saying? Like the engine's just exposed, the pipes are exposed. But yeah, long story short, I found this from Charleston Triumph, as mentioned in one of my previous shorts, and it's pretty awesome, you know? All around, kind of reminds me of my FZ7, just better in every single possible way. It's also like 3 times more expensive, so that's to be expected. Just got this because, you know, I was trying to think of a bike that is kind of like an S1000RR, maybe with a little bit less or a little bit more steering angle, a little bit like road everyday use ability, you know what I'm saying? So, and I still wanted something that I could potentially take on the track once I actually get an opportunity to go to the track, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want to support me, support our sponsors, and also check out the coffee below if you want to see some track days specifically on this bike. I don't like asking for money, but right now I'm a broke student. Came with a race fit exhaust as well. I took the sticker off. So I think from the factory this thing has 130 horsepower, maybe to the crank, I don't know. It feels quick. Like, it feels quick enough for the road, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it's not the leader bike that I had, you know. Let's go over all the things I like about this bike, right? First of all, it's just like the RR. It's one of those main character bikes that everybody that sees it just has to talk to you about it, right? So if you have any problems with being antisocial or anything, like I do, this bike will definitely force you into conversation with bike people and non-bike people alike. Especially, I don't know if you have a Moto 2, post below if you have the same experience, but especially the racing yellow, fluo yellow color. Like, everybody that sees this just absolutely loves it. I'm neither here nor there on it because I love the, like, civilian attention it gets, but I haven't been pulled over in probably the last, like, 13 years of my life. And this bike, like, as soon as I got it, almost instantly got pulled over. The guy was like, why are you doing that? And it was like some insequential amount of speed over top of the speed limit. And I got out of the ticket with a warning, so shout out to that officer. But yeah, it definitely attracts a lot of unwanted attention sometimes too. So that's probably number one. Number two, the triple, whether you like it or hate it, it's such a unique sound as compared to like a 4-cylinder or a twin, especially when you have, shout out to RaceFit. Dude, I need RaceFit as a channel sponsor, bro. I love these exhausts, especially if you have an aftermarket exhaust on it and can really hear its full potential. Anyway, the triple is freaking awesome. It puts out as much torque and as much power as you'd reasonably need on the road, but I feel like at the higher RPMs you could definitely just absolutely send it around any track. Thirdly, what I really love is, check this out. So it comes with, I'm gonna get this wrong when I say it, but a radial master cylinder and these Brembo Styloma brakes. They are out of this world. Like, I've never needed more stopping power on this bike, or felt like I needed more stopping power on this bike than it has, because it is just outrageous how good at braking it is. That being said, the front is so good that you don't get anything out of this rear brake, even though it's also a Brembo, but your rear brake doesn't really work because your rear tire is just off the ground most of the time under heavy braking on this bike with the ABS and track mode, which I also love. Secondly, the Olin suspension is ridiculous. Like, it's just so good. It's the most comfiest, like, you wouldn't think, it's a little dirty, oh my god, but you wouldn't think it's so, so plush for the road, but it definitely is, especially we're here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, at the NC Veterans Park, by the way, shout out to them. Dude, the suspension just works on the road, and I'm sure you could set it up a little bit harder for the track. Some, like, 135-pound, American GP racer was riding this, according to Charleston Triumph, where they had it as a demo bike, like on their track day events. But yeah, they said he was a smaller build, and I weigh like 10 pounds on top of that, so I haven't messed with the suspension yet because it feels really good. Another thing, dude, love it or hate it, this headlight right here. It just looks so good, dude. It kind of has like a little bug, waspy look to it, especially with the bright colors. It just looks aggressive. Let me tilt my head a little so you can see the bike front on. The headlights and the LED sequential turn signals are freaking insane. Let me turn these on for you real quick. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. What I don't like is that it's asymmetrical, kind of like the BM was, but the right headlight only comes on when you have, or in this case it's actually the left, but it only comes on when you have the high beams on. Neither here nor there, you know. I just love how it looks very aggressive. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything about the bike. I mean, talked about the brakes being awesome, the suspension is awesome, the engine's awesome, the looks are awesome. All right, to the things that I don't like about this bike. Okay, they are kind of few and far between and really nitpicky. One, Triumph patented this dirt collection bin right here. I don't know what that's about, but since this is carbon fiber, I feel like this scratches very easily, and it just picks up every piece of dirt. Also, right above this, the seat has the same issue. It picks up so much dirt and gravel and all sorts of stuff just chilling on here. Every time I get off it, it's crazy. I gotta wipe it off every time. Speaking of the seat, another thing right here, this gets caught on your pant leg when you're trying to move around on top of the bike. It's really freaking obnoxious, and I don't like that. What else? I already brought up like the negative police attention you get on this thing just because it's bright, it's obnoxious, and it's loud. Oh, and then as much as I love the Brembo Stylemma brakes, the fact this bike is so light on the rear end that when you're like under heavy braking, the rear end just comes off the ground and you kind of have to balance it with your core and your steering. Not a big fan of that. It's pretty freaking scary, especially when you're like trying to emergency brake with both brakes. Another thing, speaking of brakes, your rear brake lever and front, unlike the S1000R, which came out in 2016, are not linked. This bike has so much electronic package and craziness going on with it. How are the brakes not linked? Triumph. Come on, man. Then, like I said, the paint attracts bugs like no one's business, right? Like you can see all this bug splatter on the front, not only that, but it's on the tank and on the rear as well. Like it's constantly covered in bug guts and disgustingness. Just not a great time, you know? Especially when you're like me and you like riding bikes. And you don't really like cleaning bikes, especially not naked bikes where you have to get in all those crevices and all that BS. Yeah, that's another drawback. Then, Triumph. Please, my guys, let's talk about this. We're living in, 2024, where phones, computers, everything has a dark mode, which you can see pulled up right here, right? Because I'm just slightly in the shadow. Now, you have to believe me on this, but this screen and everything on it turns white when you're riding in the sun, and it is horrible. It looks so bad. Another gripe with the display is, check this out. I'm going to turn my bike on and be obnoxious real quick. But if you saw that, the RPM, because this doesn't have a needle, like every bike in my opinion should have a tachometer needle, it just has that tiny little line that goes left and right. So if you're really riding this thing hard and you're having fun, you're doing hooligan shit on it, the little rev gauge that this comes with, and it's bad in every single style of display, the rev gauge is just off, you know what I'm saying? Like there, it just gets even smaller. Here it's substantial, and what you can do is put the tachometer on the left side, but still, I can't read those numbers when I'm going fast, you know what I'm saying? I want a clear indicator of like where in the RPM range I am. You know, the power band and the freaking red line, the start of the power band and the red line. So that's really unfortunate. I really wish they put out some DLC for this bike or something, like downloadable content for, to upgrade the dash. To give you like a little needle or like a full ass bar, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the Yamahas have or Suzuki has. I really wish that was the case on this, but yeah, that pretty much covers it. I just wanted to make this a quick little video that I can break up into shorts as well for the description of the things that I like and don't, because, you know, the average attention span on my YouTube videos is like 8 seconds. If you're staying for the long run, I really appreciate it. I can't recommend the Street Triple RS, right? Not the Moto 2. Street Triple RS enough as the quintessential, probably best daily motorcycle you can buy for the price point, right? Can I recommend the Moto 2 for, I paid around 15 grand for this? No, bro. Go on Facebook Marketplace and get a liter bike. You can get R1s, you can get S1000 double Rs from like 2016 all the way to pretty much like 2019, 2020-ish for the same price as this. Is it for people who like special things? Absolutely. Oh, the sport bike boys are flying by. Absolutely. There's a collector's number on the dash. It's like some number out of 375 in this specific color. This specific color is unique. All the Moto 2 emblems and everything. It's very special. It says, you know, Moto 2 for the ride on all the carbon fiber bits, which is also crazy. I mean, these are aftermarket right here. You don't get these with the bike. But if you get all the aftermarket options and an exhaust from Triumph, they have like a special arrow that just pokes out of the side. It is just, it's a special piece of machinery, and it even says Moto 2 inside the wheels. If you're into that type of vibe and you really want something to add to like a collection, 100% send it. Like, don't get off of this video and just put your pre-order for the next batch of these, because they're just limited, they're special. Harley guy. Yeah, they're freaking awesome. Aside from that, that's pretty much all I have in mind for this thing. I'm gonna go get some riding footage, and I'll see you guys in the next one.